I remember asking my mother, although she was a woman, was there ever a time when she was a boy? And although I knew I was born male, would there be a time when I became a woman? And I remember being disappointed with her answer when she said, no, you stay the way you are when you're first born. She was always a woman, I would always be a boy. And so I believed her because I was 5. That's what you do when you're 5. And 40 years later, I found out that she was wrong because she forgot to talk about the small population called transsexuals, which I evidently turned out to be one.
When I graduated from college, that's when I knew that I needed to make some changes in my own life. I spoke to coworkers in 2013. I let them know first. Before that, I spoke with my principal and my dean and HR, and then we kind of rolled it out to the students. And I wanted to be really comfortable with myself and really confident with who I was before I brought it to work. I actually didn't want to talk about it at work. I didn't want it to be an issue. But because I was staying at the same job, I went from Miss to Mr. and I had to bring it up.
I really walk into spaces that people don't have or know what interactions they have with trans people, and I try to educate them to understand what they should do properly. That way they're not offending people and, they're treating them like people, which is all trans people want, is to be treated like another person. And that's really how we should act towards them. So if you look at me from a physical standpoint, biologically I would be male, but internally I would be intersex as well. When I was 20, I went and I had some chromosomal testing done, and I found out that I was born with both a deformed uterus and an ovary. I believe there's 2 ways that people in society see things when it comes to being a trans person. Either it's the unknown, which people are primarily fearing, or oppression, which means that if you're scared of it, but you can't get rid of it, oppress those people, and that means that you have power over them.
If you can't determine someone's gender, you're confused. And people who are confused and don't have an open mind, that terrifies them, and their first reaction is anger, right? And I feel sorry for people like that. I feel sorry that there's so much unhappiness in their life that they can't see past someone's difference. I mean, why in the world would you want to waste your time hurting other people? It just seems like such a terrible way to expend your energy.
You would take safety into account if you're going into a bad neighborhood and you knew that. You just took it for granted as a male privilege. It's midnight. Everybody around me is drunk, but I'm okay because I'm a guy, and as a woman, I pay attention to what time it is at night, and I'm never the last one out. I don't close bars down anymore. I'm out of there before the alcohol takes effect. Safety is a women's issue, and I learned that right away. Look over your shoulder, check left, check right, have your car keys out before you leave, and all those little safety tips. But I think that's a female issue and not a trans issue.
Obviously I pick on myself. Like I see, where my beard used to be. I see those things right away when I look in the mirror. And so I share that with my friends. And she said, I think that when you think about people looking at you, you think that people may be looking at you because you're trans. Maybe they're just looking at you because you're a woman.
So I joined a sorority in the spring of my freshman year. Probably one of the things that some people probably think of when they think of Greek life are probably the predator-prey issue. With different socials, there were, themes that were not acceptable or not conducive to respect for all genders. Like we would have golf pros and tennis hoes. But there was always something that was more demeaning towards women, and that put men on a pedestal. Or, it was just your regular pimps and hoes. These were actually the themes of the socials. In essence, I think it's demeaning, but I think we tried to take that and try to own it as a place of power. And I know for me especially, it was something that I tried to take on as a place of power, that I was someone that, was being sought after or was wanted.
There have been moments just walking down the street in Cincinnati at night. There would be men who would stop and open the car door for me and say, get in. I'm like, no, I'm not getting in the car. I go out with my friends. I'm not there for your entertainment. I'm not there to be preyed upon. And being preyed upon doesn't even mean a physical interaction. It can be just across the room.
it's the nature of people. You know, people look at other people, they judge other people. You're never going to change that, but it's the looks you get when, you know, you can tell that they want something, and you're, you know, especially if they know that I'm trans, right? Like, so it's very different. It's not an adversarial type of prey. It's more of a, I want to lock you up and keep you in my basement kind of prey.
In school, we're taught that the uh-oh feeling is a feeling that means that we should understand the situation isn't safe. Well, as a trans person, every moment is actually treated as an uh-oh moment. It doesn't matter what person you interact with, because you don't know how people are going to take it.
It kind of creates a scary place for them, which puts me in a scary, unsafe place. So that definitely affects where I go, who I go with, and like even what transportation I take when I like walk my dog at night, or when I am walking to my car from a friend's house or from a bar or from somewhere. I'm always thinking about that.
Especially with rape culture being such a huge thing, it's terrifying to go out as a woman, and even just dressing nice. You know, I dress nice to feel good about myself. I don't dress nice for someone else's benefit. I don't dress nice so you can catcall me while I'm crossing the street. I dress nice because I want to feel good as a person. That's what everyone should be allowed to do.
I used to be a board member for Crossport, which is the local trans support group. On the website, they don't list where the meetings are. You call and kind of go through an interview on the phone as to why you want to come, and the creepers get eliminated. But the creepers learn, and they're resilient. And on our website, we had pictures of the board of directors, and we had a section called Gallery where you could post your pictures at parties and stuff. And it was all done in good fun and good taste. But some guy goes to the website and looks at the pictures, and because I was a board member, my email address was there, and he emails me something to the extent of, "Hey baby, you look hot." And I'm sitting at home, and it totally took me by surprise, because you didn't expect it. I'm not at a bar or a restaurant or somewhere in the public where it happened in my house.
You just never know how someone's going to react to anything. You can try to be the best person you can, and you can try to pass, but sometimes it doesn't always work out like that.
You know, these two guys keep on looking at me, and they're, you know, checking me out, and they're older gentlemen, and, you know, one of them, after he was done checking out, walks by, looks me up and down, and goes, "Damn." And I'm like, "Really? Seriously? You know, like, I can't just shop at the liquor store?" And the other one proceeds to walk away. "How's the weather up there?" You know, because I'm 6 feet, and at that point I had wedges on, so I was probably 6'4", you know.
When I started to be seen as more masculine, when I would go to, like gay clubs or just clubs in general, I was, I would say, preyed upon more by like middle-aged men who identified as gay. And then if you add in the whole trans experience and that, then it absolutely becomes more of a prey issue, where I think that, you know, my safety could be compromised, actually.
I played with this local band, and there was a guy who gave me a roofie one night to try to take advantage of me, and he was on his way taking me outside to the back alleyway, and luckily my friends jumped in and helped me, and that was a really terrifying moment. I'm not gonna lie about that. That was something. I had to teach myself that yes, these situations happen, and yes, it's terrible, but I have to be a person and move forward and get over that, because I can't live in constant fear. It's a world where if I live in constant fear, I won't get anywhere.
Trans people are just normal people, and that we just live our lives, and that's all we want to do is live our lives. That's it. I just want to go about my day. I just want to go to the grocery store. I just want to sit in traffic. I just want to be miserable like everyone else, right?
I don't want to be preyed upon. I don't want to be thought of as, like a prize, or thought of as someone who is there for someone else. It
would be nice to just walk into some place and be able to be who I am, and not worry about someone, slipping something in my drink, someone trying to hit on me while I'm with my friends, It's like that little feeling I get in my heart when my chest gets tight when someone catcalls me when I cross the street. It's like, what's gonna happen now? Like, is this man getting out of his car and throw me in? I mean, what am I gonna do? So really, on a whole, it's just terrifying to be in public sometimes.